the
I have
little
11
storyline
tattoos.
behind them.
1, 2, 3, 4,
5.
5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11.
11 tattoos.
Okay, I'm sitting down. I get so many questions about my tattoos, and I thought it would be really fun to just sit down and do kind of like a little story time telling you guys what each of them means to me, because they have a lot of meaning to me and they're all really personal. And I have 11 now that I've gotten in the past, I think like 2 years. So it's been a pretty quick tattoo journey, and I thought I would tell you all about them. Bing! Okay, time to get into the tattoo tour. I kind of am losing my voice a little bit. I'm not sick, I'm just losing my voice, and I have blush swatches and makeup all over my arms. So, you know, I'm also trying out a new self tanner, and it like really did me dirty, right? Like, what is that, you know? Okay, let's dive in. I'm gonna go, I guess, kind of in the order that I got them, because I feel like that might make the most sense for my brain. So backstory, if you don't know, if you haven't seen any of my other videos, I have a couple you should go back and watch, kind of like 21 questions and a little bit about me, vlogs, everything, makeup tutorials. But my dad passed away 3 years ago from cancer, and so a couple of the tattoos are referring to him. So there's like a little bit of backstory on that. But the first tattoo I ever got was for him, actually. It's this tiny little rainbow. To me, he shows up kind of in rainbows, and if I sound insane unless you have had someone that passed away, and then you probably get it. But whenever I need a sign, that's always like how he shows up to me, is in rainbows. And it can be in literal rainbows, like huge rainbows in the sky, or it can be in little reflections of rainbows like on the ground. If I'm walking, I may see something like that. So that is the one for him. And then the rose is the other one for him, and there's actually a few, but this one is also for him. And focus. There you go. I also drew this one. If you follow along on Instagram, I have a fine jewelry line called Beau in Brooklyn, and our first ever piece in the first launch that is still one of y'all's absolute favorites is the Valentine ring right here. Coincides with this. I always loved, also Valentine's Day is coming up, but my dad used to always say that he was my first Valentine. And I had a dream one night that, and this is after he had passed away, I had a dream one night that it was my birthday. It was my birthday, and I woke up, and in my dream he had left me like 24 roses in the kitchen. And so this one is symbolic of that, which is really meaningful to me as well. And then I got this tiny little bee, which I'll just insert a clip because it's really very small and I feel like it might be hard to see. How do I even explain this? There's like so much history in these, backstory in these. I was married and for 6 years, and I have a kid. If you guys don't know, I have a beautiful 4-year-old girl. She's like my best friend and the sweetest little freaking thing in the world. Her name's Kinsley. But my ex-husband's brother, so I guess it would be like my brother-in-law at the time, passed away, and so his name started with a B. So that one is for him. We were like very, very, very close. He was one of my favorite people in the world, and so I wanted to get something to memorialize that. We need to take a positive turn. This is kind of dark. And then what did I get next? Clarity, I think. This little guy on my wrist says clarity. To me, this one is so symbolic, and it's just kind of this overall mental state that I always hope to have, where I feel very grounded and calm, and that I can act and make decisions with clarity. I feel like so much of the decisions that we make on a daily basis are kind of influenced by, I don't know, like society and what we think we need to do or what we think we should be doing. I feel like I've gotten in several situations in the past because I felt like it was what I needed to do. It was the next step. And so to me, this kind of symbols to think with a clear mind, do your own thing, and do what feels right to you. But you can take your time, and you can have patience, and you don't have to act until you have clarity about something. And then guard your heart. This actually might have been next, but I'll insert another clip of this one here. But it's, I wrote this one in cursive from the Bible verse. This one to me is a little reminder to me. This is something that I don't know, I think sometimes, for me at least, and I feel like for a lot of other people too, sometimes our greatest strengths are also our greatest weaknesses. And I think that I love people like really hard and fast and big. And so sometimes I need to have a little bit of a reminder to, again, kind of like ground myself and protect my heart a little bit. So that one is for me. And then I have, I'll insert some clips here, but I have a butterfly on the back of my arm. To me, this one symbolizes evolution and change and just this like the beauty of always becoming something new. And I think that's really cool. And so that's the butterfly for me. And then serendipity, which is back here, and that's my favorite word in the world. I fell in love with the word serendipity in college. I took this religion class, and I remember the professor specifically talking about serendipity. Simple fact that things should never happen, happening more often than they should. So to me, that's how I know that there's a higher power and God and something bigger than us. And so that's serendipity. And then where do we go from here? I guess there's a little wave on my back. To me, that's kind of my happy place, is the beach and the ocean, and it makes me feel really calm and sort of connected to everything, and also small at the same time. I think the beach is this beautiful reminder not only of like connectivity, but also of how granular we are, and it's like very humbling, I feel like, to be at the beach, because for me, I've always looked around and it's so serene and calm, and you have these amazing waves crashing down, but it's also so big and like unknown and beautiful, and the sand is just, we're like a tiny little grain of sand. So it just is always like giving me perspective. So I love the beach. And then I guess the new ones. So I got this one right here, which says Bones. It's actually become one of my favorites, and it's one of the brand new ones. And this one, I was talking to my mom. I wanted to get a couple for her since I had some for my dad, and this is kind of really for my family, for everybody, I guess. But for me, we always talk about how the bones have to be good, and how you want to have good bones in a person, and really anything. It's like if that Maren Morris song, if the bones are good. And to me, this is that. It's just like be good to your core. And my dad used to always say that he could fix anything except broken bones and broken hearts. So it kind of has a triple meaning. So that's 1, 2, and then 3. My mom always says that when I want something, I just like go after it hard, and I don't stop until I get it done. And so she always says I'm like a dog with a bone. So Bones has a lot of meaning, but I got it in this gothic font, and I thought it turned out really cool. I think it's probably like, I guess it's not technically my biggest. I feel like this one is probably a little bit bigger, but it's, I would say, my boldest for sure. And then Grace right here on my arm. This one is in my mom's handwriting, and it's really special to me because I love I love having her memorialized like that, in that way, like on my arm. I called her and I was asking her what we thought would be kind of cool for her, and she was anti-tattoos for a minute, and I think she's just kind of she's on board now because she knows it's just like a creative way that I can express myself. And for me, it's, I don't know, it's like art on the body. I just think it's pretty cool and unique. It's like everyone's tattoos are unique to them. But Grace for her, it's the traditional form of the word grace. And then also I think to me, she like is the epitome of grace and kindness. And I think it's just this like special reminder to always act with grace in your life, treat other people that way, as well as like giving yourself grace, which I think can be hard a lot of times. And then I have a little queen of hearts on my back, which like, the Queen of Hearts. And then also my family actually used to make playing cards. That was what my dad's side of the family did, which I think is kind of cool. And I have a bunch of those playing cards that they made back in the day, and I've always been like fascinated by that. So, and then there's also a line in a Desperado song. And anyways, yeah, okay, I think that's it for my tattoo tour. I think I covered all 11. I love them. They all have meaning to me. I feel like tattoos are art and kind of a fun way that you can express yourself. And to me, I know that I personally won't get tired of them just because they all have so much meaning to me. But I hope you guys enjoyed this little story time and some meaning by my tattoos. Do you guys have any tattoos? I'm curious. Let me know. Do they have meaning to you? What's your style? Do you like them dainty and thin? Do you like them bold and traditional? What's the vibe? Let me know in the comments, or let me know if you guys have any specific questions about any of them, and I can dive a little bit deeper into that. Okay, hope you guys are having a good day or night, wherever it is that you're watching this. Bye.